Thanks for having me. I'm Mickey. So I was kind of wondering what to do with this workshop. I haven't done many workshops myself. I've been backing them up on guitar while my dad or brother does them. But we could go two routes, I guess. We could either do a few different tunes of the Georgia repertoire, or we could kind of look at one tune and do some different licks and stuff within the tune to make it sound kind of Georgia-y, Georgish, I guess. Georgian, yeah. So I don't know. Let's take a vote. Who wants to do like repertoire? Few different tunes. Raise your hand. Got two. Okay. And then who wants to look into a tune and go a little deeper in it? Okay, we'll do that. All right. So I'm going to have Sasha join me on guitar to demonstrate. So there's a lot of tunes to do, but I think one of the best ones to demonstrate all the different tricks and stuff you can do is Soldier's Joy. It's a tune that a lot of people are familiar with. Is anybody not familiar with Soldier's Joy? Okay. Well, I'll do a little simple version of it just so you can hear the melody, and then we'll go from there. All right.
All right.
This tune's in the key of D. And it goes like this. Basically it. It's a pretty simple tune, you know.
Do you want fours in there, or do you? Yeah. Where do they go? That's a four. So it is. Now the five. Okay.
Yeah.
There we
Okay. So, Soldier's Joy. That's the tune. Now I'm going to play, I'll do a little more up to tempo and do some more stuff in there, and then we can talk about what I'm doing, I guess. there's a, thank you. So let's see, where do we start? Does everybody have the tune, kind of the basic? Should we start there and just get the basic melody of it down? That'd be good? All right. So it starts on this D note here. And then the end phrase. Cool. And now the B part. Starts on the, what is that now? F sharp. Yeah. And repeats that. And then, yeah, okay. Why don't we try to play that all together pretty slow. Cool. Alright. So the first thing you can do is add a bunch of notes in there. So we'll just start with that, I guess. So from that D note, instead of doing it like that, you can do this little, it's a little flourish, I guess. Actually, let's see. Let me teach you a bowing pattern actually real quick that will help add the notes in. So it's a bowing pattern that's typical in Georgia music. I don't know the name of it, but to sum it up rhythmically, it's like dicka 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 dicka. Okay? So if you just take your bow on the strings, it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then you do a little hiccup, I'd call it. Yeah. So when you put that with the notes, yeah. So you start with that little slide down, or the flourish thing. And then you can continue with the second phrase with the same bowing pattern. And then doing a, yeah. And you're doing a little double stop at the end, so that E note, you're letting the A string ring. So basically you're doing two strings the whole time. I'm letting this open D string ring. So that whole first part you can do with that bowing pattern. I changed it up a little on accident. But okay, let's move to the B part, and we'll add some more notes in there. using the same bowing pattern. We'll just call it the Georgia basic bowing pattern number 1. Okay, so I'll play it a little slow with that bowing pattern and adding some more notes in. It doesn't exactly do it, but it basically does that bowing pattern the whole time. So, I'll do it again. Everybody got that? Sorta? Okay. So, now that we got a little more notes, I'll play it again and maybe think of another little trick to do here. So in Georgia we like to do a lot of slides. So on that last phrase, you can do a little slide here. It's an F note that you're sliding into an F natural. And you can use that slide on the B part too. So instead of, you can go. And here's another slide you can do on that B part. It's a down slide. Instead of coming up, you're going down. Yeah. So, you know, if there's a note you can slide, you probably should, you know, if you want to. You can slide into it, slide out of it, you know, up slide or down slide. Let's see here. Okay, another trick I like to call, it's kind of choppy bowing. So you might have heard me do it. I can't remember. So basically you're kind of picking the bow up and coming down pretty hard on it. And let's see, the pattern is down, down, up, down. Down, up, down. So I'll try it a little slow. So it sounds kind of weird slow, but when you speed it up, so yeah, you get the idea. All right. So you want to try that one slow? Sure. Should we just do the pattern without the notes and stuff? Okay.
Can I ask you a clarification first?
Sure.
When you repeat them in sequence, they're all the same direction, or they alternate? Because there's 3, right? So is it down, up, down, up?
Let's see, just with the open strings. And if you can feel your bow bounce off the strings like that. So another one that is kind of similar to that. it's just kind of a shuffle bow, I would call it. So that's, instead of bouncing it, you're just keeping your bow on the strings and kind of playing the melody, but just keeping the bowing going the whole time. And that kind of breaks up at the end to go back into the ending phrase.
Maybe play the tune while trying adding those things in.
Yeah, okay. So, that's a great idea. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try playing the tune at a moderate tempo, and how about the first time we'll do it straight, as in not really much tricks or anything, licks. And the second time, why don't we try adding the, what did I call that earlier?
Georgia something bow number 1.
No, that's the,
Oh,
this will be called kind of a
Georgia chop.
kind of a choppy bowing thing. So the second time through, we'll do the, what do you call it?
Up north chop means something very different, so.
What do you mean? It is kind of a,
That's why I would say chuck more than chop, because
Chuck.
chop could mean
okay, we'll call it a chuck.
If everyone knows what
So
I'm
the
talking
first
about,
time
you know, the
through-
Berkeley style.
Fiddle and chuck. I thought it was chunking.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, whatever it's called, we'll do that on the second time through. And you can do it on the high part too. So we'll do that the second time through, and then the third time through, let's just try to do shuffling. Is that the same? So that changes a little bit. I forgot about that. Let's see. So that's kind of it's called tater bowing. That's how you start a fiddle tune off a lot. But you can use it in the tune you can just do it the whole time as a variation. So it's down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down. Yeah. So let's try that kind of slow. Maybe just on the strings. That's tater bowing. So we'll add that in the third time maybe. Okay, so let's try to play.
First time bare bones, and
First time bare bones, then
second time chuck,
whatever.
chop,
Chop.
chuck, chop.
And
Third
then
time.
third time tater bow. Okay, and I'll tater it in. out there. Okay, so we've got a little more time. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some other things we can do. So basically all these bowing patterns and different things you can do, bending and sliding rather, are you can add them into other tunes that you know. Not everyone is going to work in every tune, but you can do well, sliding you can do almost in any tune. But sometimes this bowing pattern will work or not. But then, you know, you can do that in a lot of tunes. So yeah, definitely mix it up and try it out in tunes you already know. You know, so.
Can we go over the notes you added to the beginning?
Sure. So it starts on the D and it slides at kind of goes down the scale. Alright, so here's another thing I forgot to mention. Another little slidey thing you can do. Sometimes the melody you can take away some notes and just simplify it and add slides in. So instead of that, you can go or something. Trying to think of another tune you could do that in. Let's see. Maybe here's another tune, Miss McLeod's reel, that you maybe you can hear what I'm talking about. Simplifying the melody and just kind of making it a little goofy with some slides. So that's another thing you can do.
I think as a skillet lickers, kind of like we were talking in the last workshop, you can hear how Clayton sort of fiddles around the other guys, but what's cool about what they're doing is sometimes there's two fiddlers, sometimes there's three fiddlers, but if one fiddler's doing one of those tricks that Mickey just showed you and somebody else isn't, it blends together really nicely. Like one person might be going chicka chicka chuck, right? While the other person is doing that long bow thing we were talking about, creating sort of a whole wall, wall of sound in a good way kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing to do in a jam if there's two fiddlers.
Fiddlers are doing different textures, yeah.
Makes it exciting and fun. Trying to think of anything other we could talk about here.
Well, what makes Georgia style fiddle different than, some of the other regional styles maybe?
Well,
the sliding, the
Yeah,
rhythmic
there's-
stuff.
yeah, there's sliding, a lot of sliding, and it's syncopated. Oh yeah, so something else that is pretty Georgia style is taking the melody and, like I said, you can add notes, and then we took them out doing slides. And another thing you do is kind of taking notes out and just kind of syncopating the rhythm. So here, I'll play the melody simply, and then I'll do it a little more notey, and then the third time I'll do it simple but syncopated. Maybe. So it's if you notice the difference between the first time, it was basically the same amount of notes and everything, but the first one was called what we call straight, red on the beat, da 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 da. And then the third time around, same amount of notes. So the rhythm is, if you know sheet music, it kind of ties across the bar, as they would say. So yeah, it's fun rhythmic things you can do with the tune, is syncopate it. Okay.
Try playing it all together
Yup.
again a few times?
Yeah, let's try playing it all together again.
Throw in your licks
And-
and tricks at will and do it
Yeah.
skill licker style?
Yep. Let's do that, and then we'll call it a day.
I got a quick question.
Oh yeah.
I have noticed, sometimes the more extreme you get with that stuff, like in a jam, the more it can not work. So is there like
True. Yeah.
rule of thumb on that?
Rule of thumb,
Like, is this gonna explode? Start throwing our hits out here.
I mean, it kind of depends if there's a bunch of fiddlers, it can kind of turn into chaos. And you can hear that on some of the Skillet Lickers recordings, it does get a little chaotic. But I don't know, use your best judgment, and if somebody's like, gets mad at you or something, I don't know, maybe just reel it in a bit. But if it's two fiddles, maybe have a little more fun. But if it's more, like a big jam, you can kind of reel it in a bit, I guess.
Sometimes you end up being the only fiddler if you're just playing with a couple of friends and then do as you will, right? But like he said, I think with two fiddlers, it's easier to get away with, adding in some things, and then the other person might respond to that in their way, kind of like a conversation. But it's true in the bigger jams, it can get a little chaotic, so, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we were going to 3:30, right?
Um,
My bad, I thought we were going to 3. I got mixed up. Oh, we have more time, okay, that's good. So let's all try playing this again, and even though there's a bunch of fiddlers, let's just do whatever you want.
let the chaos
Experiment.
reign.
Yeah. Is that a good, what's a good tempo there? Was that a good one? That good? Okay. good out there?
Maybe like a classic Georgia tune?
Sure, yeah. Should we go over another tune maybe? Would that be a good? Sure. Yeah, okay. Let's see, what's a good, any votes on a Georgia tune? If anybody wants to shout one out that we could do, maybe? Back up and push. That's a good one.
We were just thinking of that tune earlier today, was it? Or was I humming that? Was that today or yesterday? Sometime, maybe when we were on our way here, I was humming that, and I was like, "What is that?" And just back up. And
Yeah, that's a good one. C tune. So I'll just go ahead and play it, and then we can go over it.
yeah.
Oh wait, kind of starts on a. I'll just play the lead notes. Oh, it starts on an F chord.
Da, ba, da, ba, da, da.
Back up and push. Pretty simple melody, actually, if you just take it from the bare bones. Sorry. So, let's just go over the melody kind of slow. It's in C, so
Very Georgia key.
It is a very Georgia key. We play a lot of C tunes, yeah. So it starts on this open E note. And then C note. And then does a little kind of chromatic thing. And then use your pinky up here. Yeah. So let's play that first part all together. So that would repeat again, but it's the same part. So we'll move on to the B part. So it's an F note and you're kind of bouncing off this E. Sorry. So I'll play that whole phrase. And then
Oh, no, I thought you were still
oh yeah, I was about to.
grabbing my tea.
Okay, so let's try the B part all together. So, when it, any questions?
We do it a bunch more times.
That whole thing again? Okay. The whole song? So, I'll show you some things you can add in there. Add a little Georgia seasoning on there, I guess. So, a lot of times in C tunes, you can do this when there's an open E note. You can do I guess it's a double stop, you call it, but it's really you call it more of a drone because it's the same note. You're using your ring finger, and it gets that kind of wailing sound. also, instead of doing a drone, this would be a double stop. You can use your, with your ring finger on that note, that E note, you can take your index finger and, what is this note? G note. So it's a G and an E, but you're using these two fingers. And you can kind of slide into that, for example. So that's a pretty typical Georgia lick there, is doing that anytime there's an open E, even in a G tune, for example, like Cumberland Gap. It's a pretty cool thing you can do. So if you got a tune that has a big E note in it, consider maybe either wailing on it with the unison, or doing a double stop there with the G note. So
Is that like you could slide from first position into that, and it would be the same spacing between your fingers? Or how does that work?
I don't know. I just kind of do it by feel and sound. If it doesn't sound in tune, then it's not right. First, you got to get these ones right. Same note, and then you find your G. Add your G after.
Okay,
And then you can work on sliding into it.
so you're sliding these two, and then you're using your middle finger, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe make sure they can see your fingers, what you're doing with them.
Can y'all see the slide there?
Do a little visual demonstration of it here.
Anybody have questions about that?
If you slow that down, that slide, you go da da da. You do.
Yeah, so you're kind of sliding into it and then out of it for this tune. And it's not really it's kind of an out of tune double stop, but when you're doing it fast, it kind of just goes by. And then you're playing this double stop with the C note and the E note together. So that can work with a lot of different C tunes. Let's Hell Broke Loose in Georgia, for example. I'll do it without it. And then you're kind of using this double stop as like the home base of a C tune. So back to back up and push. You can throw in a lot of double stops here. So it goes to like an F chord, which is this F note with the middle finger, and then you're letting the A string ring. And then there's another one there with the C note and the G lower with the ring finger. And then there's a G double stop. So it's your middle finger doing the G note, and then a B note with the index finger. So I'll do that whole phrase with the double stops kind of slow. All right, makes sense? Okay. Any questions? Got a question over here.
Okay, I'm asking as a non-fiddle player, but I've been watching you, and sometimes you're choking up on the bow, and sometimes you're not, and is it just because, or is it for specific types of strokes, or?
Well, usually I have the problem of I'll start choking up and then I'll wind up here. So to stop that, I did I usually do the child's grip, it's called, in classical violin, and I grab the frog under it instead of through here, because I would slide up. But it's kind of a personal preference thing. I mean, you get better tone, and you have more longbow ability if you're holding it at the frog. So I would recommend holding it down here. But if you don't care, then that's your own thing, and you can play wherever you want. I mean, you can play. You know, or like. It doesn't really matter, other than you're limited by, you can't do longbow, I guess. And I'm kind of lazy, and sometimes I'll wind up here, so yeah. Okay, back up and push. So let's try to play the tune again and maybe throw some of those double stops in.
Do the slides that you work, do they work? It seems to me like they're working in places where there's like chord transitions, like where the guitar would walk.
Right.
So they're not happening just when you're holding like a chord, but they work in places where you're moving towards the next chord. Right? So it's against the like dun 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 dun, like the walk, the da da, like it works in places where the chord's moving.
I hadn't noticed that, but that's a good point. Yeah.
Good job.
The slide.
Might be a coincidence, I'm not
It
sure.
might not work if it was just marked somewhere, I wonder, like in a tune where it would just be holding down a chord. Hypothesis.
Let's see. No, here's another example. Just play this is Up Jump the Rabbit. It's a C tune. It's basically all C, so. That's sliding, and it's not really changing chords. So, I don't know. It does work on this one in that example, but all right. So, yeah, let's try playing the A part with the, oh, I didn't really show y'all. You can do the same double stops on the B part. Do a little wail there. What's that?
Okay, the thing that he was doing, the wail, where you just slide up on the E, that high E string, to get that double stop, matching it with this finger on the open E string, where you could do the more sliding thing. I like to keep that one in my back pocket, because when I'm feeling a little nervous and I'm like, am I gonna play this chord in tune? Sometimes I'll just opt to do that open E slide, and it's still really effective, and I think it really gives a tune that sort of Georgia sound, you know? Because I started playing Georgia fiddle more when I started hanging out with him and his family, and that was one of the things that stood out to me right away that made their fiddling sound very Georgia, was that high E sliding up. Rather than using your pinky on it, sliding with your third finger, you still get that slidey sound, but it's a little less effort, so if you're feeling a little nervous in that moment when you're jamming, you can just slide on the ring finger instead.
Okay. All right, let's give it a go. All right. I'm sorry. The notes are a pickup note, so you can't really tear in. I'll just count it. 1, 2, 3. get it. Okay, cool. You know of any other things to do with that tune there?
Let's see, what are you doing?
Oh, there's a cool bend or slide you can do.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's it's not a C, but it's a B note that you're sliding into. You're sliding into it and then out of it. And then landing on the G note with your middle finger. Let's see. And then you can hit that double stop at the end. Or the whale. Yeah.
I kind of like on that last one you just did where you end up using on your middle finger. It's kind of like I was saying in the last workshop, you can figure out where to end up based on other fingers, you know, that go in the sort of the natural placing of the scale of the tune. So you might slide up and be like, where do I stop? Well, where your middle finger should land is where you should stop. And there you are. So,
All right.
yeah.
Should we, I think we're almost out of time. Should we review anything or any questions? Review the first tune? Soldier's Joy? Okay, cool.
Could you show the pattern again on that chucking? It's down and
That one?
and the other two notes.
Okay.
Real slow. You come down and you reset.
It's down, down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down.
So you're not doing ghost notes. You're lifting it.
Yeah, I'm lifting the bow up. And you can, if you hit the strings a little hard, it helps the bow kind of bounce up. Okay, any other questions before we go over it? All right. Soldier's Joy. Should we do it a little faster, maybe? Yeah? All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and appreciate you. And hope you learned something good. Apply all that stuff to other tunes at your own discretion, and hopefully nobody gets mad at you in the jam. But I think it'll be all right.